Hi there, I'm Erick and I'm from Nichols State University, and this paper is entitled Moonlighting Together, Faculty Creative Writing Groups. A number of articles have praised faculty writing groups as a means of boosting scholarly productivity and encouraging collaboration. For instance, Hampton Farmer et al.'s 2013 article on experiences at the University of Findlay, and Page, Edwards, and Wilson's 2012 Writing Groups in Teacher Education, about a faculty writing group at Georgia Regents University. However, the faculty writing groups described in these and other studies focus on research-based and other conventionally academic forms of writing. In this presentation, I will consider the extent to which this work can be productively applied to the case of faculty creative writing groups. Such groups often inhabit a liminal space between academic and private life, meeting informally and including members who might not expect to benefit professionally from the publication of their creative writing. In light of these important differences, what similarities exist between the two types of faculty writing groups? The Nichols Faculty Creative Writing Group. Perhaps unsurprisingly, my interest in this topic stems from my own experiences. The Faculty Creative Writing Group at Nichols State University in Thibodaux, Louisiana began early in the fall semester of 2018. In the years prior, during my graduate studies at the University of Connecticut, I belonged to a group of English graduate students who met every few weeks to share and discuss drafts of poems, short fiction, creative nonfiction, excerpts from novels in progress, basically any creative writing that we had been working on. We called ourselves Stores 8 after the university town of Stores, Connecticut, and after the 8 original members, among whom I did not number. In short, after leaving Connecticut for a job in Louisiana, I missed my old writing group, and I mentioned starting a similar group at Nichols to my colleague Priya Keefe, who actually went about making the idea a reality. Since then, the Nichols group has met fairly regularly, with between 4 and 7 members, nearly all of whom work in the Department of English, Modern Languages, and Cultural Studies. In the months since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, our group has met remotely through Zoom. Unlike Stores 8, we have somehow managed to become poetry exclusive over the past 2.5 years, and on a possibly related note, we have never managed to agree on a name. Research methods. As in similar articles on faculty writing groups, I have combined participant observation with survey data and commentary from other participants. In the survey, which I created with Google Forms, I asked respondents to rate statements on a 5-level Likert scale, with 1 representing strongly disagree and 5 representing strongly agree. Respondents could also leave written comments on each statement. Given that only about 8 or 9 others besides myself have ever participated in the group, I obviously did not expect a particularly large sample size. And in fact, I had only 5 respondents. Therefore, I think that the quantitative results can give a general impression about how most of the active members feel about certain aspects of the faculty writing group, but their usefulness ends there. I've actually found the written comments just as, if not more, valuable. Similarities. The survey results suggest that the most important benefits of faculty writing groups, the benefits described by Hampton Farmer et al., Page, Edwards, and Wilson, and others, extend to faculty creative writing groups as well. As a result, much of the literature on faculty writing groups should be applicable across the scholarly creative divide. Response to timelessness, heightened accountability, motivation, and productivity. In the journal New Writing, Joanne Yu has described a phenomenon familiar to most academics, the constant feeling of time running out due to academia's never-ending flow of urgent and disparate tasks. To allay this timelessness, Yu recommends expressive or imaginative or creative writing, which she argues can put the writer into a flow state, seemingly outside of time. By contrast, scholarly writing can accelerate the sense of time's passing, according to Yu. Thus, one type of writing produces timelessness in one sense, while the other generates timelessness in another sense. While I take Yu's point, I find the scholarly creative binary somewhat oversimplified in this context. Can't either contribute to feelings of timelessness in either sense? In any case, both scholarly and creative faculty writing groups may serve as a response to this constant feeling of time running out that figures so centrally in Yu's article. Page, Edwards, and Wilson note that when junior faculty at work at a teaching-focused institution with a 4-4 teaching load, writing is often neglected as attention is shifted to other responsibilities. And surely this sort of frantic prioritizing to the detriment of one's writing occurs frequently for other faculty and at other kinds of institutions. Faculty writing groups can create structure and accountability that motivate participants to set aside time to write. This can result, as both Hampton Farmer et al. And Page, Edwards, and Wilson's articles report, in heightened productivity. From the Nichols group, one participant commented, "Being a part of the group motivated me to write more than I normally would, and there were definitely times when I used an upcoming meeting as motivation to finish a poem or compile others." Others echoed this sentiment. "I know I have to write something for the group, so I'll always write something. Always need a poem to turn in." But the motivation created by the faculty writing group was not only extrinsic or in response to external pressures, it was also intrinsic. As one respondent put it, "The act of writing and reading a poem, as well as talking about poetry, definitely gets me more excited about writing." Collaboration and mutual learning. Collaboration and mutual learning are two other commonly cited benefits of faculty writing groups. Hampton Farmer et al., for instance, referred to their appreciation for the connections resulting in new awareness and respect for scholarship and knowledge outside our own immediate fields of expertise. Meanwhile, Page, Edwards, and Wilson observed that several collaborative projects have been initiated as a result of the group. I am unaware of overtly collaborative creative writing projects arising from the Nichols group, but the prospect seems plausible. And it would be fair, in my opinion, to think of engagement with others' feedback as a less direct form of collaboration as well. In addition, one respondent who works in the university library wrote that the group had helped him make connections on campus, which is crucial to my success offering my services to the English department. Furthermore, mutual learning appears to have occurred. One respondent, a foreign language professor, commented, "Since many of my colleagues either teach or have taken coursework in poetry and creative writing, I was so lucky to have very knowledgeable writers in my midst. I learned a lot from them." In the survey, all respondents either strongly or somewhat agreed with the statement, "I have learned from other members in the writing group." Sense of community. Page, Edwards, and Wilson write that through participation in faculty writing groups, junior faculty can not only increase their scholarly output, but also experience a sense of worth and belonging. Hampton Farmer et al. Likewise reported experiencing decreased isolation and a sense of community. Clearly, the Nichols respondents too appreciated the social dimension of their writing group and felt that they were part of a community. One respondent called this aspect the biggest success of the group for me, while another said that it was the reason I joined and stuck around, adding, "Especially when we were meeting face to face, I definitely felt like I belonged." Professional benefit. Of the 5 respondents, 2 strongly agreed, 2 somewhat agreed, and 1 neither agreed nor disagreed with the statement, "My participation in the writing group has benefited me professionally." No respondent disagreed. This result surprised me. I probably would have somewhat disagreed with the statement if I had taken my own survey. Part of me attributes the responses to the small sample size and to the ambiguity of the question. What constitutes professional benefit exactly? Another part of me, however, is ready to accept that I am simply the exception. Most members believe that they have benefited professionally from their participation in the group. Maybe they have been able to leverage their experience more effectively than I have. Differences. Professional benefit aside then, I found only one major difference in the experiences of faculty scholarly writing groups and faculty creative writing groups: level of institutional support. Because of the disparate levels of professional value attributed to scholarly and creative output, faculty scholarly writing groups likely have a greater chance of receiving institutional support than their creative counterparts. Hampton Farmer et al. State that faculty writing groups tend to exist in a variety of locations, such as a university writing center such as at Michigan State University, offices of faculty development, such as at Emory University, and occasionally centers for excellence in teaching, such as at Michigan State University, with their own initiative housed in the Campus Center for Teaching Excellence. Incredibly, at Hampton Farmer et al.'s university, the facilitator of a faculty writing group receives 1 course release per semester for duties such as scheduling a meeting time based on availability of committed members, and reserving a dedicated space. As I quote these passages, envy overtakes me. However, the unofficial status of some faculty creative writing groups allows for possibilities such as off-campus locations for meetings. In our case, for instance, although we held our group's first meeting on campus, all subsequent in-person meetings took place at an off-campus restaurant and bar. The comments of 2 respondents suggested that the availability of alcohol improved the social dimension of the experience. Of course, the presence of alcohol at meetings could also deter some potential participants. In conclusion, then, my small-scale study supports the view that many of the documented benefits of faculty scholarly writing groups carry over to faculty creative writing groups as well, namely heightened accountability, motivation and productivity, collaboration and mutual learning, sense of community and decreased isolation, and the perception, at least, of professional benefit. Although the level of institutional support for such groups is probably typically lower than for faculty writing groups focused on the production of scholarly writing, the presence of these benefits could nevertheless be used to argue for additional institutional support. Thank you very much.